When I turned 70, I thought I knew how to take care of myself. But the truth is, I was just getting by, mentally tired, physically stiff, and emotionally flat. One day I asked myself, is this how my golden years are supposed to feel? That question led me to completely redesign my day from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. Now, every morning I feel sharper, every afternoon I feel lighter, and every night I sleep with peace. This is the best daily routine I've ever followed, and today I'm going to share it with you. Morning reset. The 3 things I do before 8 a.m. that changed my life. When I crossed into my 70s, I began to notice something I hadn't felt before, not in my body, but in my spirit. I would wake up feeling groggy, not just physically, but mentally heavy. I was sleeping 7 to 8 hours, but still, I would sit on the edge of the bed each morning thinking, is this what aging feels like? It wasn't pain exactly. It was the absence of energy, the absence of direction, a kind of invisible fog. That's when I decided to experiment with my mornings. Instead of just letting the day happen to me, I began to take control of it, starting. From the minute I opened my eyes, what I discovered was surprising. You don't need complicated routines. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. like some productivity guru. You just need 3 small habits done consistently before 8 a.m. Here's exactly what I do and how it's transformed my life after 70. 1. Hydration with intention, my wake-up. Drink. The very first thing I do, even before brushing my teeth, is drink a tall glass of room-temperature water with a few drops of lemon juice and a pinch of Himalayan salt. Now, let me explain why this small step works wonders. After sleeping 6 to 8 hours, your body is dehydrated. Your joints, your brain, even your skin is craving hydration. But it's not just about water. It's about giving your body the signal that it's time to wake up and move. The lemon adds a gentle detoxifying effect, and the pinch of salt, rich in trace minerals, helps replenish the electrolytes we seniors lose easily, especially if we're on medications or have digestive issues. I sip it slowly, standing by the window, letting the sunlight touch my skin. It's quiet, peaceful, and with every sip, I feel more alive. This is my first act of self-respect every morning. 2. Gentle body activation, my 7-minute wake-up movement. When I was younger, I thought exercise meant sweat and soreness. But now, I've learned that movement after 70 is more about mobility than intensity. I created a 7-minute wake-up routine that I do right in my bedroom, no equipment needed. And it's made a huge difference in my joints, digestion, posture, and even my breathing. Here's what it looks like. Neck rolls, 1 min. Gentle circles to loosen tension. Shoulder rolls, 1 min. Forward and backward to release tightness. Arm circles, 1 min. To stimulate blood flow. Marching in place, 2 min. Slow, steady steps to get the heart going. Side stretches, 1 min. To open the rib cage. Forward bend, 1 min. To wake up the spine. This 7-minute movement wakes up my body with love, not stress. It reminds me that I'm still here, still moving, still capable. And what's more, it prevents that stiffness that used to follow me into the afternoon. 3. Quiet time. 5 minutes of mindful reflection. This may be the most powerful of the 3. After hydrating and moving, I sit in a chair or on the edge of my bed and do something that 70-year-old me never did in my 30s or 40s. I reflect in silence. It's not prayer, though it can be. It's not meditation, though it often feels like it. It's just 5 minutes of being with myself, breathing, listening to the birds, looking outside, and asking one simple question. How do I want to feel today? Not what do I want to do, but how do I want to feel? Some days, the answer is peaceful. Other days, it's curious or strong or connected. Whatever the answer is, it gives my day direction. It anchors me. I used to jump out. of bed and grab my phone. Now I rise slowly, with intention, like a man preparing to walk into the second half of his life, not in panic, but in power. Why these 3 habits changed my life? You might be wondering, why these 3? Why do they work? The reason is simple. They target the 3 things seniors struggle with most in the morning: dehydration, stiffness, and lack of clarity. But more than that, these habits give me something deeper: a sense of ownership over my day, a calm but energized mind, a body that's ready to move, not resist, a feeling of dignity and grace. I no longer roll into my day half awake. I enter it with a sense of presence, and that changes everything. What I avoid in the morning. Let me also tell you what I don't do anymore, because this matters just as much. No phone for the first 30 minutes. I don't need news, noise, or nonsense first thing. No sugary breakfast. I used to start with biscuits and tea. Now I opt for something lighter and brain-friendly. More on that in the next section. No rushing. The days of scrambling are over. I deserve a calm beginning, and so do you. How this routine sets the tone for my entire day. Since adopting this morning reset, everything else in my life has improved. My digestion is better. My mood is more stable. I experience fewer midday crashes. I've even started enjoying mornings again, something I hadn't felt in years, and you know the best part? It's sustainable. This isn't a 21-day challenge or a complicated protocol. It's 3 simple acts, done with awareness and consistency, that turn each morning into a fresh start. Final thoughts. If you're over 70 and struggling to feel excited in the morning, start here. Just these 3 habits. Start small. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. Just do it consistently. And trust me, after a few days, your body will start craving that lemon water. Your joints will ask for gentle movement, and your spirit will thank you for the quiet time. It's not too late to feel good again. It's not too late to love your mornings. And it's definitely not too late to live with purpose. Feeding my body and brain, what I eat and drink to stay sharp. After 70, when I was younger, I could get away with skipping meals or grabbing anything quick, toast with tea, greasy takeout, maybe a sweet snack mid-morning. But by the time I reached 70, my body made it clear. I needed to pay attention to what I put in it. I didn't need a trendy diet. I needed a routine, something realistic, nourishing, and easy to follow every single day. Over time, through trial and error, and a few embarrassing bloating episodes, I discovered a way of eating that keeps my mind clear, my energy stable, and my gut calm. It's not complicated, and that's the beauty of it. Let me take you through what I eat and drink each day, and why it works for me. My morning fuel. Simple, light, and brain-boosting. After I finish my morning water and gentle movements, I give myself about 20-30 minutes before I eat. I used to dive straight into breakfast, but I found that giving my body a little time to fully wake up made digestion easier. Here's what my breakfast typically looks like now. My go-to breakfast: a bowl of oats cooked in water or almond, milk, a spoon of chia seeds or flax seeds, a handful of berries, blueberries or strawberries if I can get them, a few chopped walnuts or almonds, a sprinkle of cinnamon, sometimes a drizzle of honey. This meal isn't just filling, it's brain food. Oats keep my blood sugar steady, berries are packed with antioxidants, and seeds are great for digestion and joint health. The nuts? They give my brain healthy fats to work with, and I've honestly felt sharper since I added them. And the cinnamon, well, it just makes it all taste warm and comforting. At this age, food should nourish the soul too. If I'm in the mood for something lighter, I'll go for a boiled egg with a slice of whole grain toast and a few slices of cucumber on the side. Oh, and no processed cereals. I haven't touched those in years. What I drink in the morning, besides tea. Now, let me be clear. I still love a warm cup of tea, but I've changed how and when I drink it. These days, I have my tea mid-morning, usually green tea or a light, herbal blend, something that hydrates me rather than depletes me. If I'm feeling foggy, I add a slice of ginger or a dash of turmeric. I stopped drinking tea with my breakfast because I found out it can reduce the absorption of iron and other nutrients. That small change made a big difference in my energy levels over time. And here's something new I started this year. Brain tonic, mid-morning sip. Warm water, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, a dash of turmeric, a small squeeze of lemon. Sometimes a few crushed mint leaves. This little drink makes me feel awake, fresh, and focused. Lunch. The midday reset. If there's one thing I've learned about aging, it's that lunch isn't just a meal, it's an opportunity to refuel wisely. In my 70s, I don't eat heavy lunches anymore. No large portions of rice or oily gravies. Those used to knock me out in the afternoon. Now I aim for something that's light, colorful, protein-rich, full of fiber. My regular lunch plate, grilled or lightly cooked vegetables, like spinach, carrots, peas. A small portion of lean protein, usually lentils, chickpeas, or grilled fish. A slice of whole grain bread or a small portion of brown rice. A small salad with olive oil and lemon dressing. If I'm in the mood, I add a spoonful of yogurt for digestion and cooling the body. This kind of meal doesn't make me sluggish. It gives me energy to take my afternoon walk, read, or simply enjoy the day without feeling like I need a nap. Snacks, the brain-saving choice. I used to snack on biscuits. You know the kind, sweet, buttery, comforting, but I didn't realize how much they were spiking my blood sugar and stealing my energy. Now I have a few favorite snacks that actually fuel me. A handful of almonds or pistachios, apple slices with peanut butter, a boiled egg, a small banana with cinnamon, dark chocolate, a square or two for a treat. I never eat while watching TV or scrolling my phone anymore. I sit down, even if it's just for a few minutes, and let my body digest in peace. Dinner. Light, early, and easy to digest. Here's a truth I ignored for years. Eating late ruins your sleep. I used to eat dinner at 8 or 9 p.m., but it always left me feeling bloated, restless, and uncomfortable. These days, I eat no later than 6:30 p.m., and my dinner is the lightest meal of the day. Here's what I usually eat. Soup, lentil, pumpkin, or a clear veggie soup, steamed or sautéed greens, a slice of roti, flatbread, or no bread at all. Sometimes just a bowl of papaya or fruit salad. Eating light helps me wind down without a heavy stomach. And my sleep? Deeper, calmer, and more refreshing than ever. Supplements I use. After consulting my doctor. Let me be very clear. I'm not a fan of overloading my system with pills. But after speaking with my doctor, I added a few key supplements that really made a difference in my energy and mental sharpness. Here's what I take. Vitamin D3, especially in winters. B12, for nerve health and mood. Magnesium, at night, for muscle relaxation and sleep. Omega-3 fish oil, for brain and heart health. I take them after meals, never on an empty stomach. What I've completely removed from my diet over time, I slowly phased out foods that were draining me. If you're over 70, you might want to do the same. Here's what I avoid. Sugary drinks and processed juices, fried snacks, pakoras, samosas, chips, white sugar, switch to honey or dates when needed, white bread and white rice. I use whole grain. Alternatives now, red meat, only occasionally now. These changes didn't happen overnight, but with consistency, I noticed less bloating, fewer mood swings, and much more energy throughout the day. Final thoughts. Eating after 70 isn't about dieting. It's about nourishing the body and respecting the life you've lived. When I eat now, I do it with intention. I think about how this food will serve my body, not just today, but in the long run. I don't chase trendy superfoods. I just focus on real, simple, colorful meals that make me feel good, inside and out. My meals. aren't perfect, but they are peaceful. And after 70, that's the kind of routine we all deserve. Midday moves. Gentle activities that keep me young. It's funny how people assume that after 70, movement becomes a chore. That we're supposed to slow down, sit more, and let the body rest. But let me tell you a secret I've learned. After 70 years on this earth, rest is not always restoration. Sometimes movement is the medicine. I'm not talking about going to the gym or running marathons. I'm talking about simple, intentional movements that keep the joints loose, the heart happy, and the mind sharp. For me, midday is the perfect time to get my body moving. Not too early when the joints are still stiff, and not too late when the energy starts dipping. Let me walk you through the movement routine I follow every single day to stay strong, flexible, and alive. Why I move midday. Before I dive into what I do, let me explain why midday movement works so well for seniors. Like us, warmer muscles. By noon, my body has warmed up from breakfast and light chores. It's the perfect time to move without pain. Energy balance. A short walk or stretch after lunch keeps me from feeling sluggish or sleepy. Mood boost. I've noticed that a little movement in the middle of the day lifts my spirits, especially if I've been indoors. It's not about burning calories. It's about circulation, confidence, and clarity. My daily movement block, 12-hour p.m. to 2-hour p.m. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't even need a gym. What you do need is a bit of consistency and a mindset that says, I may be older, but I'm not done yet. Here's how I keep moving. My daily walk, 20 to 30 minutes. Every day after lunch, I take a walk. Sometimes it's around my neighborhood, sometimes in the park, and sometimes just around the house if the weather isn't great. I walk slowly, but intentionally. Back straight, arms swinging gently, and breathing deeply. Here's why walking is my favorite. It helps digestion. It keeps my knees and hips from stiffening. It lifts my mood. It clears my head. I like to observe nature. The flowers, the birds, the clouds. It becomes more than exercise. It becomes a meditation. And let me tell you, walking consistently has done more for my blood pressure and sleep than any pill I've ever taken. Stretching for seniors. My 10-minute joint routine. Once I return from my walk, I do a short stretch series. Nothing intense, just enough to keep my flexibility alive. Here's my simple routine. Neck tilts and turns. To keep the neck mobile, arm stretches, reaching up and across the body, torso twists, gently rotating side to side, hip circles. Standing with support, loosening the hips, ankle rolls, while seated, both directions, toe taps and heel lifts. Great for circulation in the legs. This entire routine takes just 10 minutes, but the impact lasts all day. I feel looser, lighter, and more connected to my body. And remember, flexibility is freedom. Every time I stretch, I'm saying, I'm still here, and I still move with grace. My balance practice, 5 minutes of strength. One of the biggest risks after 70 is falling. I've seen good friends go through difficult times after simple slips. That's why I dedicate 5 minutes a day to balance training. Here's what I do. Stand on one leg while holding a chair or countertop, shift weight slowly from one foot to another. Practice walking heel to toe in a straight line. Close my eyes and stand still for 10 seconds, only near a wall. It doesn't sound like much, but these simple balance moves have saved me more times than I can count. I used to stumble when stepping off a curb. Now, I feel grounded and steady. Breathing with movement, my secret weapon. This is something I never expected to enjoy, but it's now one of my favorite midday habits. I do 5 minutes of breath-focused movement, a light form of seated or standing Tai Chi. Just moving my arms in slow circles, lifting them with inhale, lowering with exhale. It calms the nervous system, relieves stress, and clears my mind. It also helps me digest better and feel centered. If I skip this, I can feel the difference. My thoughts race and I feel a little disconnected. But when I do it, I feel present and at peace. What I avoid in midday, just as important as what I do is what I don't do during this time. I don't nap right after lunch. It makes me sluggish. Later, I don't sit for more than 30 minutes without stretching or walking. I don't do anything that feels like a chore. This time is sacred. And here's one more thing. I don't allow negative thoughts to camp in my mind during these hours. If they come, I walk them off, stretch them out, or breathe through them. Because in my 70s, my time is too precious for worry. The mental benefits of midday movement, you might think movement is just about the body. But for me, the mental clarity I get is just as valuable. After my midday routine, I feel more focused, more positive, more eager to call a friend or write in my journal, less anxious, more alive. That post-lunch slump I used to feel, it's gone. Replaced with gentle momentum. I can sit and read without dozing off. I can enjoy a phone call with a loved one without feeling distracted or tired, all because I chose to move rather than just rest. Aging gracefully isn't about slowing down. It's about moving smarter. I want to say this clearly to anyone who's watching and feels that their best physical days are behind them. You don't stop moving because you get old. You get old because you stop moving. Midday movement isn't about becoming someone you were 20 years ago. It's about respecting who you are now and helping your body stay strong, steady, and supported. It's never too late to start. Even 10 minutes can change your day. My movement mantra. I have this little phrase I repeat to myself every day. Before I begin, a moving body is a living body. And every time I walk, stretch, or breathe intentionally, I'm proving to myself and the world that aging doesn't mean fading. It means becoming more in tune with what your body really needs. And most of the time, it just needs a little movement and a lot of love. Soul nourishment. How I feed my mind and emotions. Each afternoon, after my midday walk and stretches, I sit down, not to scroll on my phone or drift into a nap, but to feed my mind and heart. You see, in your 70s, the most valuable assets you have aren't money or possessions. It's your peace of mind, your sense of purpose, and your emotional strength. Many people think that after 70, all we're supposed to do is relax and pass time. But I believe this time of life is a gift, an opportunity to grow spiritually, mentally, and emotionally in ways we never could when we were younger and busier. That's why I created a soul-nourishing afternoon ritual, one that isn't about physical health, but mental clarity, emotional calm, and spiritual grounding. Let me take you through it because it might just be the reason I feel more alive today than I did in my 50s. My afternoon reset ritual, 2:30. 4:30 p.m. This part of the day is sacred to me. It's quiet, the sun is softer, my body has moved and digested lunch. Now it's time to tend to my inner garden, my thoughts, emotions, and spirit. Here's what I do every day. My cup of tea in silence. I begin with a warm cup of herbal tea, usually chamomile, mint, or ginger. I sit near the window or in my favorite armchair. And then I do nothing for about 10 minutes. No phone, no TV, no conversation. Just me, my tea, and silence. It might sound simple, but this 10-minute quiet moment is where my stress melts away. I notice my breathing. I listen to the world outside. I watch birds, trees, and the light change. I become still, not because I'm tired, but because stillness heals. We live in a noisy world, but at 70 plus, I've learned that silence is the language of peace. And every day, I let myself listen. Feeding my mind, reading for growth. After my tea, I open a book, not a magazine, not a social media post, a real book that teaches, uplifts, or challenges my thinking. I rotate between 3 kinds of reading: wisdom literature, spiritual texts, ancient philosophy, or reflective essays. Biography, autobiography. I love learning from people's life journeys, science, or health. To stay informed and mentally sharp, reading daily, even just 20-30 minutes, has done wonders for my brain. It improves memory, focus, and vocabulary. But more importantly, it gives me something new to reflect on every day, and reflection is the difference between simply aging and truly growing. Writing my thoughts, journaling as therapy. After reading, I write. Not a novel, not a fancy diary, just a simple notebook where I ask myself 2 questions. What am I feeling right now? What did I learn today? I don't worry about grammar or structure. I just write whatever comes. This daily practice helps me understand my emotions. If I'm upset about something, I write it out. If I'm grateful, I capture that joy. If I feel lost, I write until I find clarity. There's power in putting thoughts on paper. It turns confusion into peace, chaos into order, and memory into meaning. If you've never journaled, I encourage you, start with 1 line a day. You'll be amazed at how much more connected to yourself you feel. Emotional check-in. The heart scan. This might sound a little unusual, but I've developed something I call a heart scan. Every afternoon, I take a moment to mentally ask myself, am I carrying any anger or resentment? Do I feel lonely, or am I craving connection? Who can I forgive today? Maybe even myself. What do I need emotionally right now? By answering honestly, I've avoided falling into emotional ruts. I've caught sadness before it became depression. I've called loved ones when I felt lonely. I've forgiven past hurts that once weighed me down. We spend so much time scanning our bodies, taking medications, checking blood pressure, but we forget to scan our hearts. And I believe emotional strength is what truly carries us through aging with dignity and grace. A dose of spiritual nourishment. No matter your beliefs, having a spiritual connection gives life deeper meaning, especially in our later years. For me, this time includes a short prayer or meditation. Sometimes I recite gratitude out loud. Sometimes I listen to soft instrumental music and simply close my eyes. It's not about religion. It's about connection to something bigger than me. This moment reminds me that even when the body slows down, the spirit can still soar. It humbles me, it strengthens me, and it keeps fear away, even as life changes. The mental benefits I feel every day. Here's how this soul-nourishing routine impacts my life. I feel emotionally lighter, less stress, less worry. I feel mentally clear, better memory, and focus. I'm more self-aware. I understand my feelings instead of running from them. I sleep better. No overthinking. At night I feel more fulfilled. Every day has meaning. Most of all, I feel centered. And when you're centered, you age from a place of strength, not fear. What I don't do in the afternoon, just like in my movement routine, I'm very intentional about what I avoid during this time. No mindless scrolling on my phone. No negative news, no gossip, no comparison to others' lives. At 70 plus, I've earned the right to protect my peace. And this daily soul ritual does exactly that. A note on loneliness. Let me speak honestly here. Aging can feel lonely. People move away, friends pass on, children get busy. But I've found that when I nourish my soul daily, I no longer feel alone, even if the room is quiet, because I've built a deep friendship with myself. That, more than anything else, is the most important relationship to nurture in old age. You're never too old to grow inside. Many people think personal growth stops after retirement. I'm here to tell you, you may retire from work, but you never retire from becoming. My daily routine isn't just about surviving each day. It's about becoming a wiser, kinder, and stronger version of myself. And every day that I read, write, reflect, and reconnect with my spirit, I take one more step toward the kind of elder I want to be. My afternoon affirmation. I close this ritual with a simple affirmation I say out loud. I am calm, I am clear, I am deeply alive. It grounds me, it lifts me, and it reminds me that aging isn't a burden, it's a deepening. Evening wind down, ending the day with peace and purpose. Evening for me is not just the end of the day, it's the final chapter of a story I wrote since sunrise. When I was younger, evenings were rushed. Dinner, chores, television, and sometimes a restless sleep. But now, in my 70s, I've discovered that how I end my day determines how well I sleep and how calmly I wake up the next day. So I created a gentle, meaningful wind-down routine. It's not rigid or complicated. It's just a series of comforting steps that help my body rest, my mind settle, and my heart feel full. Let me walk you through what I do every evening. Maybe it'll inspire you to create your own peaceful path to sleep. 1. Reflecting on the day, 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m. As the sun begins to dip and the sky changes color, I like to sit quietly for a few minutes and reflect. I ask myself, what went well today? What could I have done differently? Who or what am I grateful for? Sometimes I write these thoughts in my journal. Other times I just think them through over a quiet cup of warm water or a light herbal tea. Reflection gives meaning to my day. Even if the day felt ordinary, I usually discover something beautiful in it. A smile from a neighbor, a good book chapter, or simply the fact that I moved my body and stayed present. It turns daily life into something sacred. 2. Light, nourishing dinner, 6 p.m., 6:45 p.m. Dinner is not a feast. It's fuel. And at my age, my digestive system appreciates simplicity. I follow 3 rules when it comes to dinner. Eat light. Eat early. Eat with presence. Usually, my plate includes a bowl of soup or lightly steamed vegetables, a small portion of fish, lentils, or eggs, a handful of nuts, or a slice of fruit for dessert, a glass of water or light herbal tea. I avoid spicy or heavy meals in the evening. I found that eating rich food late makes it harder to sleep peacefully. And sleep, as I'll explain soon, is the ultimate healer. Dinner is often my quiet moment. I don't watch TV while eating. I savor each bite. I enjoy the colors, the textures, and the comfort of knowing I'm nourishing my aging body with care. 3. Tidying the space, calming the mind, 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. After dinner, I do something that many people overlook. I gently clean up. Wash the dishes. I wipe the table. I organize my sitting area. I prepare my bedroom for sleep. It's not about chores. It's about mental clarity. When I walk into a calm, clean space in the evening, my mind naturally relaxes. There's no visual chaos to distract me, no mess to make me feel overwhelmed, just peace. This simple act of tidying is my way of telling myself, the day is done, you've done enough, now let's rest. 4. A little entertainment, a lot of care. I do allow myself 30 to 45 minutes of gentle entertainment in the evening, but I'm selective. I avoid violent news or overly dramatic content. Instead, I might watch a documentary, listen to old songs, watch a feel-good movie, browse photo albums or old journals, chat with a friend on the phone for a few minutes. Laughter, nostalgia, and gentle stories bring me joy. They help me feel connected to life, even if I've spent the day alone. What I don't do is scroll endlessly on my phone or fall into negative content. At 70 plus, I've learned to protect my peace like it's gold. 5. Preparing for sleep, my nighttime ritual. 8:30 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Here's the most important part of my evening. My sleep is sacred. It's when my body heals, my brain processes memories, my immune system recharges, so I take bedtime seriously and lovingly. Here's my full wind-down ritual. a warm bath or foot soak if I've had a physically tiring day. I'll take a warm bath with a few drops of lavender oil or Epsom salt. If not, a warm foot soak in a small tub is enough. It helps my circulation and relaxes my legs. Light stretching, just before bed, I do 5 minutes of very gentle stretches, neck rolls, forward bends, leg raises while lying down. This prevents stiffness and calms the nervous system. A chapter from an uplifting book in bed, I read something that feeds my soul. No thrillers, no stress, just warm, calming words. Often spiritual writings, poetry, or old journals. Breathing and prayer before I close my eyes. I place one hand on my chest, the other on my belly. I take 3 slow breaths. Inhale peace, exhale tension. Then I say a short prayer of gratitude. Thank you for today. Thank you for breath, for life, for another day of grace. No matter what the day brought, good or bad, I end it with a thankful heart. The results: deeper sleep, brighter mornings. Since creating this wind-down routine, I've noticed I fall asleep faster. I wake up less during the night. My dreams are more pleasant. I wake up feeling rested, not groggy. My emotional resilience is stronger during the day, and the best part? I no longer fear the night. I look forward to it, because I know that my sleep is not wasted time. It's healing time. Aging with rhythm, not just routine. Many people think a routine is boring. But at 70 plus, I've found that a daily rhythm gives life a sense of order, flow, and purpose. My evening isn't a checklist. It's a gentle dance, a way to say goodbye to the day with respect and grace. It reminds me that life, even in old age, is not something to endure. It's something to honor. And every time I lay my head on the pillow, I whisper to myself, "You lived this day well. You earned your rest." Final thoughts. You can create your own evening magic. If you're watching this and thinking, "I don't have a routine like this," I want to encourage you. It's never too late to begin. You don't need fancy steps. Just create a peaceful space. Choose calming habits. Say goodbye to the day with kindness. A meaningful evening leads to healing sleep, and healing sleep leads to joyful mornings. Trust me, your body and your spirit will thank you.